Hi guys, my name is Achieng. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am excited for today's video. I'm going to show you how I prepare mushroom as a side sauce that you can use on any type of food that you're having that will bring some texture and some flavor to your food. So I am using this mushroom right here. It is baby Bella mushrooms and they're already sliced. This is how it comes in. I am going to clean them first and I'm going to cut them into pieces. And what I'm going to do with this mushroom sauce, I'm going to, after I prepare it, I'm going to kind of blend it so it can be like a creamy, kind of thick sauce. That's what I'm going for. I do not want the mushrooms to be whole. So I'm going to just rinse this really quick. And then I am going to let them dry. But as I let them dry, I do have other ingredients that I'll be using here. So we're just going to prepare them as our mushroom kind of dries. So I'm going to use some green onions. I'm just going to remove this part right here. Set these aside. And just cut this into small pieces, about medium small. So I have a bowl here that I'm going to place them. This just makes my life easy, honestly. I am going to be using the green onions. I'm going to use celery in this recipe. I'm also going to use garlic. I love garlic. And then I am going to be using cream, whipping cream. So I'm going to prepare it in this cup right here so that when I'm ready to add the whipping cream, what I'm preparing when I'm cooking, it's easily accessible. So I have that there. And then I'm going to use stock. This is a stock. I do create my own stock. I just blend some bones here and there, and I will be posting that video in the near future of how I prepare my stock. But this is the stock that I'll be using, so I have it warmed up and ready. Also, we are going to use some bell peppers, so I'm just going to prepare that really quick. Let's grab this. Going to prepare. And I always save this because when I prepare my stock, I always love adding veggies to it. I do not waste, or you can also use this as manure, but I just try to maximize everything that I'm using. So I am going to cut this into small pieces, not too it's not going to be too I'm not going to make this, I'm not going to cut this perfect, because I'm going to blend this mushroom sauce, so this does not need to be perfect, honestly. So I'm going to put this in this bowl right here. Last but not least, our mushrooms right here. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut them into some just roughly chop them, honestly. Like I said, it does not have to be perfect because we are going to cook them and blend them. So just going to roughly chop them, set them in this bowl. Perfect. Perfect. Just going to clean my hands. Amazing. So now we have our ingredients ready. We have mushroom, which is the main ingredient that we need for this recipe. We have the green onions. I'm not going to use all of this, just a little bit of this. We have the celery right here. We have garlic, very important. We have the red bell peppers. I'm going to add other spices, and we have the chicken stock, which will be very important. This will be our liquid that we're going to use, and also whipping cream. It's very important to have whipping cream in this ingredient. So what we are going to do, we are going to heat the we're going to kind of saute this mushroom. So let's head on to that. So, like I mentioned, this is a continuation of the movie. Oh my God, for the video that I prepared for the steak. So, in our previous video that I've already posted, please make sure you check it out. I showed how I prepared a piece of a steak. It was a sirloin steak, and I am using the same oil. The oil that I prepared it with the steak has a lot of flavor, and you do not want to waste that oil. So what I'm going to do here is it's already warm, so I'm going to go ahead and add our celery, and I'm just going to add all of the celery. This oil honestly has a lot of flavor, and you do not want to waste any of that flavor. That is why I'm using this. So I'm going to let that soften just a little bit. And I'm going to proceed with adding our onions. This is the green onion. Also, since this is a mushroom sauce, I want it to have that buttery texture. So I am going to add some unsalted butter, and I'm adding about, let's see, about 1.5 tablespoons. let that soften a little bit. So the oil that I am preparing this mushroom with had some salt in it, and since the mushroom is it's a side salt, so you don't want it to have too much salt in it. So you want to be very, very careful with the amount of spices, if any, that you're using. I'm going to go ahead and add garlic. If you have not watched my previous video on how I prepare my garlic to make it easy for me while I'm cooking, please make sure you watch that video. So since I'm going to kind of blend this mushroom sauce, I do want the onions, the celery, I want them to cook down. I want them to really soften because I'm going to blend them. If I wasn't, I wouldn't cook them too long, but because we are going to blend it, I want them to be as soft as possible so that when I'm blending, it's not, I'm not having a hard time doing that. I am going to go ahead and add um, red bell peppers. Because I want them to cook. If there's one spice that I'm definitely going to add is smoked paprika. With smoked paprika, it adds color and a smoky flavor. It does not have salt, so that's why I'm just being generous with that. And what the bell peppers are going to do is just add some color to the mushroom sauce. So this is our mushroom, but one thing I have forgotten to add is our ginger. Just adding a little piece. That's good. I'm going to add just a little bit, just a pinch of Creole seasoning, just a pinch. There you go, literally a pinch. And now what I'm going to do, just look at how beautiful that looks already. I am going to add our mushroom because I want it to cook in the fat a little bit. Just look at how beautiful this is. Looks beautiful and colorful already. And remember, I have barely added as much spice as I usually do. I'm not going to until I add the whipping cream with the stock that we are going to use for this recipe. You can see it looks amazing already. I'm going to let the mushroom to soften just a little bit. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to use a stock. This is a beef and chicken stock that I already prepared. We have our whipping cream. This is going to add some creamy texture to our mushroom sauce. And the goal of this is just to soften this mushroom. So I am going to go ahead, add our chicken stock. Going to hold off a little bit because I'll be adding our cream. Going to mix, see how I like it. Looks beautiful already. I am just going to go ahead and add all of this stock and also add all of this cream. Going to mix this. Look how beautiful already this looks. Going to taste. Awesome. So I definitely have plenty of room to add some spice. So the only spice I'm going to add in this is chicken bouillon. Like I said, guys, I'm being very, very careful because this is a side sauce. I do not want it to be overpowering at all. So what we are going to do at this point, we want this to simmer down, not to get too thick, because once we blend everything it's going to get thicker. So we just want the mushroom, the celery, the onion, the red bell peppers to soften, and then we will proceed to the next step. So I'm going to let this simmer down and then we'll check it. So our mushroom sauce has been simmering for some time now. So what I'm going to do, I am happy with where it is right now. I am going to let this, I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to let this rest a little bit so it can so it can cool down a little bit. And then I'm going to take our blender and blend this into a sauce, and then we are going to return it back to this pot and let it simmer down a little bit more if we want to, if we are not happy with the consistency that it has after I blend it. So I'm just going to turn off the heat, let it cool down a little bit. I'm going to transfer it to some type of bowl and just for me to be able to blend it. So our sauce has cooled down a little bit. So I have this plastic bowl right here, and I have this blender right here. It's not a blend, kind of like a hand blender, I guess that's what it's called. So what I'm going to do, I am going to get the contents into this bowl. So I'm using this spoon because it's easy for me. The most important thing here is to get the mushroom the ingredients inside here. Yeah. Just making sure I get all of it. Just trying to avoid making any mess. Just have to take your time. Just make sure you get all of the particles out. Because I want this sauce to be smooth, not too smooth, but at least smooth. Awesome. I think that's good. So what I'm going to do now is going to place this here. I'm going to add a little bit our liquid here. Push this to the side. Just going to place this here so this is what I have, and what I'm going to do is press a little bit. Just depending on how you want it. I just want it to be as smooth as possible. Awesome. That I'm gonna set this aside and return this. This is where you kind of have to work smart. Then I'm just going to use this soup to kind of rinse all of the sticky sauce on this, just to make sure I'm not wasting any of the ingredients. Okay, that looks good to me. Going to set this on the side. I am going to turn back on, and I'm going to add this and use some of those soup to rinse all of the extra ingredients. The handheld blender is really comes in handy. I love using it. That, set this aside. Awesome. And now heat is on. What I'm going to do is, this looks exactly just the way I want it to be. So what I'm going to do is just let it simmer just a little bit more. I don't want it to be too thick. I love this consistency, but I just want it to simmer a little bit just for everything to cook just a little bit. And we're going to let it simmer on medium low heat for, let me say, just 3 minutes. So our sauce has been simmering and I am happy with the consistency of the sauce. I do not want it too thick and I do not want it too watery. I just wanted it to be, just where it is right now. I'm happy with it. So you can see how beautiful it is. So what I usually do is I'll serve it into something like this. It's easier for you so that when you're eating, you can just use it, just pour on your food. So what I'm going to do is grab a spoon. Just a minute. There we go. Oops. Looks like I made a mess. Going to set this on the side. And then what I do is going to remove it away from the heat. Just add this. And voila. This is how our sauce looks like. I'm going to take a spoon and show you guys how the consistency is. It's not too thick, just where I want it. Of course, you can make it into the consistency that you want, but this sauce, you can use it as a side sauce to many things. You can eat it with your steak. You can eat it with any type of food, honestly. It is so versatile and that's what I love about it. But guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to subscribe. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers, and thank you so much for walking with me while I prepare my mushroom side sauce. Until next time, God bless you. Thank you for your support and bon appetit.